Hey, come see us live. We're doing our Rumble Time show September 27th in Los Angeles. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, and we'll be in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. I want to show people that Kamala Harris, so, you know, she got endorsed by Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney, we used to call him Dr. Evil. There was no more hated person in the history of America than Dick Cheney. He was more hated than Manson.
He's worse than Richard Pearl.
And he was horrible. So, but now he's endorsed Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris is going to fulfill his neocon warmongering agenda more likely in the way he wants it than Trump. And that's what this is about. He
endorsed Hillary too. Remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, Dick Cheney was against Trump when back in his first race. And I thought, is this 4D chess? Like Cheney's endorsing the opponent, so opposite. Because I thought this guy is totally irredeemable. He was like, he got more heat than George Bush.
Yeah,
because everyone understood Bush Jr., Bush the Lesser was sort of.
He was being led around by his nose by people like Dick Cheney.
Right, Kellogg, Brown, and Root and Halliburton. That's what that was. And
he was at least a little apologetic. Dick Cheney was never apologized for a torture program. He never apologized for murdering 1 million Iraqis or lying to the people or lying about the intelligence that said Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. He did all those things. And he's completely unapologetic. Like, so he said so. So
George Bush did have the roadmap for peace and got settlements removed from Gaza, although they just relocated him to the West Bank. Like he had... There's stuff you can point to say, well, at least he did that. Cheney, on the other hand, it's like he doesn't even lie. Most of them all lie and have some altruistic or like good veneer to point to and go,
he doesn't care
to save the Kurds or something.
He doesn't. BS. He doesn't bother.
He's like proud and unremorseful.
That he's evil.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, here's Kamala react. Somebody got a video. Here she is trying to pretend she's a regular person just shopping. And they ask her, here she's going to react to Dick Cheney endorsing her. And let's
like Liz Warren riding a bus.
Yeah, here we go.
Look,
I'm honored to have their endorsement. And I think that what they both, as leaders who are well respected, are making an important statement that it's okay, and if not important, to...
It's okay to team up with warmongering murderers and torturers, the dregs of society, the worst thing in the world, people who lied to the American people to get us into an illegal war so we can murder 1 million people, you know, that kind of stuff. People who then passed the Patriot Act and put us in the surveillance state, you know, people like that, people who turned Americans against Americans over a phony war for the military-industrial complex. It's okay. And she's going to say that doing what that is and why is Dick Cheney endorsing her? Because she's going to do more of what Dick Cheney wants. And she calls...
You know, this owner of that spice store donated $100,000 to her campaign. She was not at a random grocery shop.
Oh, you're kidding.
Like no, this whole thing was staged and rigged.
So let me
what a surprise.
Let me try to play this all staged and rigged. Let me try to play this all the way through without stopping. Hang on.
Actually, I'm honored to have their endorsement, and I think that what they both, as leaders who are well respected, are making an important statement that it's okay, and if not important, to put country above party. And I'm honored to have their support, and I think it's an important statement right now. A lot of what I think is happening, and I was just talking with some folks here in Pittsburgh about it, is that people are exhausted about the division and the attempts to kind of divide us as Americans.
Well, then why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep saying that half the country don't respect our democracy, half the country are terrorists, half the country... Why do you keep doing that? Working for Trump, working for Russia? Why do you then have the Justice Department of the Democrats underhandedly prosecuting, using the criminal justice system to prosecute their #1 political opponent? Why don't you stop doing that? Oh, that's right. You're actually pretending you're not doing the exact thing you're accusing your opponent of. That's okay. Here we go.
And them stepping up to make this public statement, I think, is courageous, but also for people like the folks I was just talking with, it really reinforces for them that we love our country and we have more in common than what separates us.
Right.
I'm convinced that she gets paid by the hour to talk. It's like the taxi meter's running, so the most simple thing, she just keeps talking.
Like Russia is a big country. I'm surprised she wasn't buying hot sauce.
Me too. And I'm not saying that she's on Xanax. I'm saying she talks like she is always.
I think she's a dry drunk. Go ahead.
Here's what Robert F. Kennedy says. Cheney's resuscitation by the Democratic presidential nominee finalizes the hijack of the Party of Peace by the warmongering neocons in the military-industrial complex. There's nothing left to the party of JFK and RFK.
That was worth repeating, yeah.
Yeah. And here's what I said. The transformation of the Democratic Party into the party of Bush Cheney is complete. Instead of this shocking Kamala Harris supporters, you think it would shock their conscience. It'd be like, so if Hitler came around and said, you know what, I'm endorsing Kamala Harris, they would go, oh, look, even Hitler likes her, instead of going, wait a minute. So their whole idea is, hey, you know, Hitler, yeah, he's the worst guy in the world. He killed 6 million Jews. You know, he just endorsed Kamala Harris. You know, there's another side to Hitler that people just don't see.
Didn't Vladimir Putin say he prefer Kamala too?
Yes, I'm pretty sure he did.
I think he did, and he's sort of like, I mean, obviously he's not Hitler, but they try to paint him as if he was, and you know, there's pretty high gap between those two. But yeah, he said that, and they just ignored it because they have demonized that dude. Like Trump and Putin get more flack from mass media than anybody.
I just want to hear her one more time.
Actually, I'm honored to have their endorsement.
I'm honored to have Dick Cheney's endorsement. Why, Harvey Weinstein wasn't available?
Go get Glenn Maxwell. See who she wants.
Wow.
She flew around a lot of your party members to Rape Island.
You're talking about Ghislaine?
Mm-hmm.
No, is her name supposedly pronounced Gwen? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's Ghislaine Maxwell, but you can call her Ghislaine. I kept calling her Ghislaine.
Yeah, because of the double entendre.
Exactly, and then everyone started calling her that because they all copied my stuff anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, oh, that has now become her name, which is hilarious.
That's good. You should be proud. Even I use it.
It's funny, Ghislaine. But yeah, she's, you know, her father was involved as he was an informant for Israeli intelligence.
Yeah.
And helped capture Mordecai Benunu, the whistleblower nuclear weapons. And it's just like, oh, gee, Epstein and Maxwell and Jean-Luc Brunel and all these people are involved in this massive kitty fiddling ring that involve the top people, including presidents, prime ministers, Ehud Barak, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, the names you know, and the names that aren't famous but are very wealthy of all these bankers. They're just not interested in it at all. But it was extremely slanted toward the left on that one. The right's got their own rings. But look, you have to be compromised to get promoted. And I think a lot of the reason a lot of these people that you do know better still pull the line is because they got skeletons in their closet. We had 3 House speakers in a row caught in infidelity. 3 in a row.
3 in a row what?
So, like you had Hastert, who was kitty fiddling boys on his wrestling team, Speaker of the House. He had 3 in a row, all involved in some sort of
sex scandal,
sexual escapade scandals. Yeah. And you see that on Wall Street too. The people that blew the whistle on the subprime housing mortgage gambit, people like Vitter and Spitzer and stuff, suddenly, oh yeah, you had an affair with an 18-year-old. It comes out when they do it.
That's right.
But not Bill Gates and the rest of that are doing it so much more, right? And they're like, oh no, shh. They're donating on Epstein's behalf to MIT so that Israel can take trade secrets that the university sponsored. That's what they're doing.
So
Bill Gates was at one point the richest person on earth. You can't bribe that guy.
That's right.
You bribe the poor, you blackmail the wealthy.
That's right. And that's what Jeffrey Epstein was all about. And that's why his wife, one of the reasons she said she eventually left him was because he wouldn't stop hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah. Well, A lot of senior executives at Microsoft are also on that list. Nathan Myhrvold, for example, and they got caught with kiddie porn at the the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Well, I didn't hear about that, but I do know that didn't they blame it on at Bill Gates's house? There was like his gardener or somebody who worked at his property. They found all this kiddie porn. Am I making that up?
No, one of his employees at his foundation got caught with like terabytes of it, which is insane. Which means it's not all one person. You couldn't.
So it wasn't at one of his property. It wasn't at a Bill Gates property.
No, it was. It was at the prop. Is on the company computer. So that happened. But like that is like okay, but that whatever. We have so much worse evidence, like so much better evidence, but worse crimes on Bill Gates. Things he was doing. He'd been having affairs. He admitted to the one he did in 2000. He used to have 2 cars, so he'd drive one to work and then he'd leave in the other one. So you wouldn't know. He would look like he was still there. But yeah, I mean, you have internal emails of him being late in the night at Jeffrey Epstein's property when Glenn and Eva Dubin were there with their daughter, who would have been at maximum 16 years old at the time, and staying late into the night. Like they compromise these people. The Dubins were there. They raped Virginia Giuffre, Virginia Roberts, and she described the hotel they were in, the fact that his wife was pregnant, like everything lined up, and that case has been completely buried. And when anyone talks about Epstein, all they talk about is Clinton, Andrew, like this sort of uber famous celebrity names, whatever. And they're not getting into the nitty gritty of these Wall Street tycoons that work for Barclays, that work for Bear Stearns, these, the Ace Greenbergs and these kind of people. They're involved in it. And women have been complaining about the work culture in these financial firms and hedge funds for a long, long time. It's understood, as Kamala probably knows, to get ahead, you got to give some head.
Hey, have you heard about the new superfood that seems almost too good to be true? It's got thousands upon thousands of 5-star reviews and life-changing testimonials from users. It's Armra Colostrum. I'm actually taking it. Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life, and it's an exclusive source of all the essential nutrients we need in order to thrive. Armra Colostrum is a proprietary concentrate of bovine colostrum that harnesses over 400 functional nutrients to strengthen your immune barriers against harmful particles from the environment that can trigger inflammation and make you sick. Colostrum has been known to strengthen immunity, ignite metabolism, fortify gut health, promote hair growth and skin radiance, and power fitness performance and recovery. Amra's grass-fed bovine colostrum concentrate strengthens all 4 layers of your gut wall, where 80% of your immune cells are housed, and activates cellular health for your resilience and recovery. We've worked out a special offer for my audience. Get what? You get 15% off your first order. Go to tryarmra, that's TRYARMRA.com/Jimmy, and enter Jimmy to get 15% off your first order. That's TRYARMRA.com/Jimmy. Hey, come see us live. We're doing our Rumble Time show September 27th in Los Angeles. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, and we'll be in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.